This video is called Who Has Less Heart Than a Nerd? It is about why generational focused moral passion ends with me. It has everything to do with interpreting the Bible. Should somebody with no heart, no courage, no passion interpret the Bible? Well, let's look at Ezekiel 18:31. Let's go 30. We'll leave the last paragraph of this chapter. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's not the type of thing you could take out of context. Therefore, O house of Israel, I will judge you, each one according to his ways, declares the sovereign Lord. Repent. Turn away from all your offenses, then sin will not be your downfall. Rid yourselves of all the offenses you have committed, and get a new heart and a new spirit. It says, rid yourselves of all the offenses you have committed, and get a new heart and a new spirit. Why will you die, O house of Israel? For I take no pleasure in the death of anyone, declares the sovereign Lord. Repent and live. People without heart cannot interpret the Bible. They cannot determine what redemption is and what repenting is. The children of wolves cannot repent without a redeemer. This is the major misinterpretation of the Bible, and it's not a coincidence that it is the colonials themselves who are doing the misinterpretation. They don't understand that the blood of your imaginary Jesus friend cannot redeem you. You can't do whatever you want and then say, Jesus has redeemed me. You can't wait till you're 99 years old and say, I repent and I believe and I want to be forgiven. You can't do that. The Bible is about reason, sense, and then faith that God, the God that has made this world this way, to give the righteous man the natural upper hand. The natural upper hand. Not to be confused with when the chemists and the technology using people took over. The natural upper hand will naturally, supernaturally reward you for your efforts, or at least you'll die in a way that is pleasing to the Lord. This is what life is really about. It is not about going to heaven. It is dying in a way that is pleasing to the spirit of righteousness that you have come to know through the martial art order. Heaven is really for kids, is an idea for kids. Okay? Whether there's heaven or not, I care not. I care only about doing the right thing and pleasing that spirit of righteousness that I have come to know. Of course, it is a spiritual leader that will give them new heart. That should have given them new heart. They refuse me and they have no heart. Okay, the stone that the builders, the Masonic pussies, have rejected is the foundation, is the arrow pointing to heaven. They don't love their families. They have said, fuck you, we don't love our families, we don't understand morality, and we're going to take you straight to hell. That is what happens when you reject the way to heaven. You and your family go straight to hell. In 2019, that is. So let's talk about generational focused moral passion and interpretation. Scribes encoded the true message into the Bible. I've gone over many times. Not everyone could read and write 2,000 years ago or 1,700 years ago. Wizzo and Witten mean sage. That's where we get the word wise. The wise men, the educated men, right? You know, these people were basically into pagan magic spells. There's a bunch of pagans who were fresh converts, if that, who were the scribes in the Bible. And over time, people, in pagan cults, in social clubs like the Masons that are interested in pagan thought, okay, because the pagans were the scientists, Masonry, science, and philosophy, started building on this ancient writing system, right? Sumer, Latin, right? The root of the Latin languages, okay? The Latin root, right? The root of this magic spell evil, if you will, Sumer, then through the Latin languages and so on and so forth, okay? English, French, Spanish, and so on and so forth. So the scribes encoded the true message into the Bible. That's where we get the word core, right? The heart is the core of a man. Corazon, cor, right? All these things they all connect in this kind of language way. Gospel, magic spell. You're an idiot if that explanation is not satisfactory. If it isn't, there's all kinds of words. Lexicon, there's pan and pun, rhyme and reason, and so on and so forth. Okay. The generational moral inclination. Those who do not come from a line, right? A good tree that has bared good fruit, that emerged when the time was to come, right? Are you going to sit there waiting for you to be a chip sex slave? Or are you going to emerge? All this stuff, Boy Scouts getting plugged, people getting plugged in the church. And you're going to sit there twiddling your fucking thumbs and not emerge? You imagine these pussies that I live with who don't emerge? They'd rather be pedophiles, chip sex slaves, right? How the fuck can they bring forth the Redeemer? If you're so stupid that you're going to wait to be a fucking pedophile's sex slave and have your children be sex slaves, you are not capable of bringing forth the Redeemer. How could you be? You're an idiot. You're an animal. You're a fool. So I use the example of the movie 300. The Persians represent the colonists, and that weasel, that sniveling, cowardly-faced pussy who slept with the queen, represents the token minority coward that refuses to do the right thing, that is so evil that all they know is serving evil. They don't have the heart to do the right thing. That's why it says you're given a new heart and a new spirit, because the Spirit of God is in the heart. Okay? It is only allowed, it only comes in those who have heart. Okay, and once you come from a line that has allowed the sun gate to close, to allow the last worthy king to die with no child, nobody has heart. How could they? Nobody born, it is apparent that they have no heart. The comparison, obvious, obi vi as. How could they have heart? They don't. They don't have fucking heart. They can't love. They can't bring in the Spirit of God. They can't bring in martial art principles. I can't stress that enough. Who has less heart than the nerd? These people serve those with no heart. Those sniveling pussies. Those cowards. Nerds are the type of pussy that some fucking sniveling pussy by himself can stuff into a fucking locker. We're not talking about a gang member in high school who's getting outnumbered by fucking 20 gang members in their face. We're talking about a little sniveling pussy. Every stage of their life, they were a bitch. They're on some Harry Potter bitch shit. Now that Harry Potter's older, is he not still a bitch? Every stage of their life, they're a bitch. Having a magic wand and being a movie star doesn't change that. Imagine the stupid fucks I live with, that I live around, who believe that being a movie star or having blood diamond type of bitch makes you the exception. Fucking stupidity. Fucking cowards. Fucking sniveling nerd daughter whores. They're the daughters of nerds, so they don't have the heart to be receptive to the top martial arts. Cowards. Pussies. Who has less heart than a nerd? I challenge you to find somebody. You'll be hard pressed to find. They're like, what? Who? Somebody who's mentally damaged? Doesn't really count. Who has less heart than a nerd? They have no right to speak about God. Nick Tesla and them and Einstein have no right to speak about God. You're a nerd. You don't have heart. And you look Jewish. And in the Old Testament, Ezekiel, it says right there, you need a new heart and a new spirit. That's why it's the Lion of Judah, not the nerd of Judah, not the grasshopper of Judah. It is the Lion of Judah. And the leopard is the lion on the standard, because this is a refined lion. The craftsman persevering is not the King of Kings. Prince William and Prince Henry aren't the King of Kings. The other African kings aren't the kings of kings. I am the King of Kings. I have the heart and the spirit. They persevere. They pour the spirit of serving, the E. Persevering. They pour the spirit of serving, the G, which is the earth energy. They have decided to survive in this world instead of die with honor and go to the next. They are misleading their kids because it's Mother Earth, just like Jerusalem is a female. Okay? If you're in the spirit, my people, the Jews, you're on some bitch shit. If you serve the true spirit that is supposed to make a Jew, which is ultimately the spirit of Ra, not the spirit of Yah, who is a mimicking ninny. When the followers of Yah, and if the followers of Yah are actually following Yah, and they don't serve me, they're nothing but a mimicking, fucking, acting little slut. those fools who don't stand with the prophets. So what we see here is two camps of people. In the movie 300, basically there was this weasel-faced guy who, when King Leonidas was gone, the queen was a stupid slut who decided to sleep with this guy to try to save her husband. She was on some Jerusalem bitch shit. We saved the flesh of the people type of bitch shit. When in reality, it is saving the honor. The people don't have the honor. You're supposed to be able to see that. You're never supposed to sleep with somebody thinking that it's the right thing to do when it's not. That is a fucking stupid slut's mistake. That's how bitches get pimped all the time. You know, what makes a prostitute is she thinks it's the right thing to sleep with somebody. Okay? The queen was a fucking whore. Okay? She should have known, wait, but this weasel-faced, obviously despicable coward, and you can't tell that he can't help you? And even if he could, fuck you gonna sleep him for? If the state doesn't already have the mechanism in place to support the king in battle, let him die and kill yourself. Don't try to convince some weasel whore with your slut body to back the king. That's despicable. No decent woman would come up with that bitch shit. That's that bitch shit. So we have two camps emerge. One, those idiots that side with the queen's decision to sleep with the weasel when she eventually kills him herself later on. A stupid decision. But females that are the allies of the weasels and those pussy men that follow their pussy to hell. On the other side are the people who understand the true moral of the story of Leonidas. Not necessarily Leonidas himself, mind you, but those who understand the true moral. There's no reason to sleep with weasels that have nothing for you. They cannot lead you to the promised land. The blood diamond types of bitches cannot redeem you. The most painful part of the movie is seeing the weasel sleep with the queen. Who cares if the hero dies in battle? Okay? He's not the last king of kings. When his death simply is a hero dying, doing the right thing, we all die anyway. How could a man die better, one could argue? Who cares about that? Let them all die. But don't let the queen sleep with the enemy, because God is the creator. And the biggest offense to God is sleeping with the attractive women. The biggest offense. Now, obviously, next to the King of Kings, screening out the King of Kings, right? But what does that set the stage for? Okay, you screen out the King of Kings. What does it do? No attractive woman can then have an opportunity to sleep with anybody but scum. So obviously, following that same train of thought, the biggest offense is killing the King of Kings. But it's why? It's because of the reproductive cycle. The fair reproductive cycle. When you can no longer have the possibility of a woman who's attractive sleeping with, and of course that goes back to who sleeps with the martial art order and why. The attractive women. Who's the queen? Who's a suitable helper? The attractive woman. She's healthy. She's attractive. You're a dumbass if you don't see why I'm right and why I said it right the first time. So people are expected to play stupid about being right about the most painful part of the movie. And if they don't, they'll play stupid about the implications, because these people don't have heart, and as a result, they don't have the Spirit of God. Okay? So let's look at a hypothetical situation, and let's wrap this up. Hypothetically, if the weasel slept with the king after King Leonidas had died and said, "No one is worthy after I die," can the children of the weasel and the queen turn around and say, "I'm related to the queen. I am here to redeem you"? Nobody should be beat down more with spiked bats, with bricks, with fucking tree trunks. Beat to death more than those sniveling pussies making that argument, and that sniveling weasel and that sniveling harlot. She is the mother of all harlots if she gets away with it. She gets away with that, she's the mother of all harlots. Harlots for generations are going to be challenging that bitch, saying, this is our tradition. This is who we are, acting like bitches. No one is fit to redeem when the king has said no one is fit to redeem. He is the head of the martial art forces. He is the King of Kings. He is the martial art King of Kings. Not only is he the King of all kings in reality, mind you, he is the king of all martial artists. No one is fit to lead after I say the sun gate is closed, after I had other martial artists hiding like bitches or too busy sucking a Babylon dick when they're chipping motherfuckers' brains to be pedophile sex slaves. I had them hiding like bitches. It is my call. and the sun gate closes, you fucking cowards.